To opponents' team supporters, you have become your own kind of villain.
I just look at myself. I never look at the others. No, I don't care what the fans say or the opponents or the managers. I just help my back four and I try to make as many saves as I can.
My guest today is an elite goalkeeper who's the Magnus Carlsen of mind games. 6'5" of hip shaking, crowd shushing, penalty repelling menace. Just this week, he was named FIFA's best men's goalkeeper for second time in 3 years. And exactly 2 years ago to this day, he rather enthusiastically accepted the Gold Glove trophy after winning the World Cup with Argentina. It's an incredible joy to welcome Aston Villa's Mr. Emi Martinez.
Hello, Rog. You all right, mate?
Oh, I am now, Emi, because we are speaking just a few days after you made what for some goalkeepers would be a career-defining save against Nottingham Forest. Somehow denied a header from Nicolas Dominguez at point-blank range. It's like a behind-the-back save with added spin. It's part goalkeeping feat, like part Mission Impossible stunt. What did you see? How did you experience it? And how did it feel in that moment?
Well, to be fair, it was, I was trying to get some space to catch the cross. I'm always, a goalkeeper front-footed to try and do the high claims. But then there was a lot of bodies in front of me, and the ball was really good into the near post. They couldn't come. And I think Gibbs White, he flicked it. And then Dominguez just headed from, 2 yards, and it was a good header actually towards the goal. And then, I saw the ball behind me. And somehow we just, tried to drag it back into play to generate a little bit of power. And then I didn't touch it. Normally it goes through your hands or you score an own goal if you try to bring it back. So I have to spin the other side of the ball to make sure I don't touch it. So, but we lost the game at the end. So a little bit frustrated.
The spin to reverse it for the goal line. All that thinking in that second. Is the spin just instinct, Em?
It's just my hand followed. When I span my back, my hand, my body followed. So it's not something I thought at the moment. It's just, with that kind of save, you have to sweep, and that's something you train.
Jamie Redknapp on English TV said he thought it was the greatest save of the Premier League era, not the season, of the era. For you, does it even crack your top five? Where do you rank this technically?
For me, I don't really rank myself amongst the others, but for me, it was my best one, my best technical skill goalkeeping save. So, and that's something that I should be proud of because even at this age, I keep improving.
Which is amazing, the goalkeeper's journey. And I know you've worked with a psychologist, David Priestley, to build that mindset since you were at Arsenal. You've called your meetings with him, quote, an investment into your weekend performances. Can you describe to us the mental process you go through in game to maintain positivity in key moments?
Yeah, he's one of the major keys for my success as well, to keep me there, never too low and never too high, keep me balanced, keep me consistent. And that's why, for professional athletes, is the hardest thing to do, to maintain that consistency for 60 games in a season over 6, 7 years or 10 years of career, And that's something I'm aiming for. My last 6 years of my career, or 7, has been super consistent, improving every season. And that's how I want to finish,
You famously have a tattoo on your calf of the World Cup trophy. You won it 2 years ago. And you had it inked in the exact spot on your leg where you saved that shot from France's Randall Conal Muani in extra time at the final. Argentina's first World Cup win since 1986. What emotions do you experience on the daily when you look down on your leg, you see that trophy looking back at you, and you think about your own key part in winning it?
Yeah, it's amazing because we made a bet with some of my mates in the national teams. After we lost the first game, I say if we win the World Cup, we're going to do a tattoo with our names as well. We have shirt numbers. So when I saved that ball and we won the World Cup, they all said, we all know where you're going to do this tattoo. You have to do it there. You have to do it in that spot. So I just put the star in the exactly spot that the ball hit, So when it's in my tattoo, the 22 star is exactly where the ball hit,
And when you look at it, what do you feel?
Just proud. proudness. You know, I came to England with such a young age. You know, we all speaking the language, different weather, different people, and different culture. And then looking back 16 years ago, I'm still proud to be here. You know, being a world champion. You know, winning so many titles and individual awards, it just makes me proud. You know, makes me keep going. I always look back to help me to keep improving.
Lionel Messi, Rosario born, now Miami based, human wonder. He's called you the best goalkeeper in the world, and you played with him on the Argentinian national team since 2021. And I don't mean this as a weird question, but as new players, when you join the national team, are you nervous when you meet him? Because to the world, Messi is a god. But after a while, does he just become like a normal teammate, or does he remain in the locker room, on the field, a gent who plays with goat aura?
Nah, to be fair, we all the players, maybe yes, but for me, you know, we all the same. You know, I'm very, fat and lad. I make joke to everyone. He's got an aura that no one have. You know, he's someone like you look up to. When you see him, whatever he does, you try to copy. He goes to the gym, you go to the gym. He's got that aura that I think no one in football have. But then for me, everyone is the same. We all joke. You know, we had meals together. He's a lovely human being, but he had a super talent. You know, when you're born with a super talent that no one have, he's that man.
It's like John McGinn aura.
Yeah, like Guinness, yeah.
In that World Cup final, you've talked about how you briefed your Argentinian teammates how to take their penalties to beat your French opponent, Hugo Lloris. You are incredibly difficult to score against. You're famously difficult. And you've said, quote, in those moments, I own my box. Can you break down what makes you so bloody dominant in penalties, any kind of penalty? But is it preparation, intelligence? Is it learning your opponent's tendencies, or is it just instinct?
I think, a penalty during the game is just a penalty. A penalty shootout is a different sport, and I'm pretty good at it. You know, that's how I see it. You know, and this sport, I'm the best. You know, I never think I'm the best in goal, normal goal, but in that moment, I think I beat the other goalkeeper. You know, because it's 5 shooters. I think saving 2 plus maybe 3, you win the tie. So, and I always back myself to say 1 or 2. You know. And that's how I go through it. Even if you score the first one, I'm still gonna save 2. If you score the second one, I'm still gonna save 2. So I'm mentally really strong in those moments, you know. And for goalkeepers, that's the only moment maybe they got a little bit of pressure. Because if they don't save the first 2, and the goalkeeper does, mentally they drop. So that's why I really push myself to save 1 in the first 3, just to push the pressure on the other goalkeeper.
I mean, it is a different sport, and you would probably Olympic gold if penalty shootout was an Olympic sport. But what I admire about you, Emmy, is that you've turned psyching out other players almost into an art form. You know, whether it's asking officials to check Kingsley Coman had put the ball on the right spot, asking Manchester United's Bruno Fernandes why his then teammate Cristiano wasn't taking the penalty, or even shushing Lille supporters before a shootout in the Europa Conference League. I mean, do you plan this kind of tousery in advance? Or does it just happen in the moment, a reaction to the players, to the fans, to the match, to the moment?
Nah, just to the moment. You know, I never plan anything. You know, when I say the first pen, then I try to create a little bit of, pressure on the players. But no more than that. You know, it's many people that do worse things and they get away with it. But I miss a Conference League semi-final at home because the ref gave me a yellow for asking for a ball. So now I got a reputation that wind people up, and that's not correct.
To opponents' team supporters, you have become your own kind of villain. I mean, you definitely do lean into that, Emmy. You know, winding up opponents, winding up opposing fans. It does feel sometimes that can clash with the focus, the zone, the concentration that you need to repel all comers. How do you balance the two in your own mind, or do you draw strength from others' weakness?
I just look at myself. I never look at the others, and When I go to the pitch or in a penalty shootout, I go and win it. That's all I care. No, I don't care what the fans say or the opponents or the managers. I just help my back four and I try to make as many saves as I can.
Last question for you, Emi Martinez. This season, we're asking all of the players that we speak to, if you could only listen to one song for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Tres estrellas en el conjunto, which is the Argentinian song after we win the World Cup. Thank you, mate.
Big love. Thanks, Emi. Thanks, Philip. Courage.